speaking today with Cameron Solfaro. He is systems analyst with First Solar. Cameron, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Tell me a little bit about First Solar.
First Solar manufactures solar PV modules as photovoltaic modules, and we also provide complete turnkey solutions as far as your balance of systems components to build those solar power plants out in the field, all the way to the PV module that's installed on top of those systems.
Now, I'm told that you guys are kind of out to challenge the norm, so to speak,
Oh, yeah.
in
Never
defining
satisfied.
supply chain processes. Could you explain to me what that means?
Yeah, so one example I'm thinking of is our supplier collaboration, in a sense. I think consider the norm, collaborating with your supplier on your needs as far as your components and your raw materials, in the sense of, emailing and providing those fulfillment orders via your external systems. And one thing that we've struggled with is getting our suppliers inside of our system and getting that full visibility to our forecasts, our on-hand inventory, and that sort of stuff. So we did actually bring in one supplier that we have brought into our rapid response planning tool to see complete visibility into our forecast, into our on-hand, into our open orders with that supplier. And it has, I think, challenged the norm in the sense of we are moving now at a completely different pace that we were prior to. Very fast, very cutting edge in a sense.
Where are your suppliers? Where was this supplier, and where is your supplier base in general?
This supplier particularly has 3 locations in North America, Asia, and Europe. So currently, the one we're working on right now, we did onboard the North American supplier, and we're working to do the other 2 as well.
Mm-hmm. So that is a challenge. I mean,
Yes.
maybe physical distance isn't a challenge in today's age.
Sure,
I don't know.
sure.
But in terms of being able to collaborate on a global basis, you found that to be possible, right?
Yeah, and I think we're going to try and capitalize on that with this kind of dry run, if you will, and roll that out to other suppliers in the future.
Yeah. Now, as I understand it, this entails a centralized approach. You want to bring
Correct.
everything together in a centralized fashion. Explain to me a little bit about what that entailed.
Yeah, so, I mean, we historically have always done a lot of, you have your offline files, right? You have your emailing outside of, your systems, and a lot of decentralization, if you will. And I think the way we've centralized is kind of by using some new technology, specifically rapid response, to bring all of our ERP information and our ordering and our planning and our execution into one tool, and allowing everyone to kind of collaborate within that.
So you're collaborating upstream with suppliers. What about downstream in terms
Yes.
of accessing forecasts and demand forecasts from your customers?
Correct. So that all flows downstream, like you mentioned, and you have detail into every specific order, part number, quantity, date, when you need it, recurring forecasts, as well as expediting actions when needed, and it's really turned out to be successful.
And is everybody involved kind of on the same page in terms of the number, the forecast number? It's not like each one has their own forecast, and you give it to them and they go, yeah, well, but this is our forecast.
And
that doesn't really happen?
And that's what I think that has eliminated. Prior to, you would do that back and forth, if you will, and now it's kind of like we have mechanisms to agree on a specific forecast. So they can go and say, commit this forecast. If I don't commit this, we can talk about it and we can understand more clearly what the issue may be.
Yeah. So what has been the result of all this? How different does your supply chain look now, and what benefits have you derived from this initiative?
Complete fulfillment, on-time fulfillment, no excess, lean on-hand inventory, all sorts of those kind of things.
Yeah, excess, when you say inventory, did you have a problem before? Did you have too much inventory sitting around not being utilized?
That unutilized inventory at times, yes, and then shortages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have a little bit of buffer stock, do you not? I mean, there
Yeah.
are some unpredictabilities out there that you need to be ready for.
Safety stock is always there, and in this case, I think you really almost eliminate that need for the safety stock, if you will. You do, like you said, you mentioned you need that buffer, but this enables that to be very, very lean and streamlined.
Were you heavily spreadsheet-oriented and manual before you did this?
Correct. That's kind of where I was going with that decentralization. Excel spreadsheets all over the place, emailing spreadsheets around. Now, You log into an environment, you have that same formatted spreadsheet if you so desire, and everyone is right there in the same, looking at the same set and collaborating on that.
From the way you're telling me this story, it sounds like it was no problem getting everybody on board, getting the people both internally at First Solar and with your partners upstream and downstream. Is that in fact the case? Isn't there always some kind of pushback, and isn't there always some change management aspect you got to deal with?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it was seamless and completely easy. I mean, we did kind of work it with one supplier, so that kind of minimized, I think, the risk there. But I think there was a skin for both of for solar and the supplier. I mean, it provided benefits on both ends. We, of course, wanted to get more visibility to our supplier to enhance that forecast of fulfillment. And then, on the other hand, our supplier now can manufacture, if you so choose, and be more aligned with what we need and not have issues on their end as well with, again, excess or shortages, not being able to meet our.
So the challenge is, or the achievement is data integration, both inbound and outbound.
Yes.
Right? Is there more of it? Is there more data out there than there was before? In the era of so-called big data, more access to that information. Was that the case, and does that create a challenge for you in terms of managing higher volumes of data?
It does. So I think right now the next step with this is we want to get visibility to our suppliers' capacity, our suppliers' current on-hand inventory, and that's one thing that we don't have right now. You know, there's integration steps or hurdles to do there, in the sense that, you know, we're going to figure out how to get a file from our supplier or some data feed from our supplier that says, this is what we have on hand, this is what we can produce next month and next year, and then being able to react to that. And if there is an issue, you know, we will react to that.
The react thing is what I find interesting. How agile is your supply chain? How fast can you react to when you see that there are changes in the marketplace that you did not anticipate?
Well, never fast enough, right? But I think we've grown very well in that. We've gotten much faster and much more lean in the sense that we can, again, like you said, react. We were able to, we know what we know, and you don't know what you don't know. So now we know more, and we're able to capitalize on that.
So what's next for First Solar? What's on your agenda of further transformations and improvements in your supply chain?
So, you know, I think that you'll see more of this supplier collaboration. This is one area where we want to grow. We have, you know, many suppliers, and we have many materials that go to build these power plants, and it can be tough, right? You're getting materials from all over the country. You're building power plants all over the country, and getting those logistics in place with commitments from your supplier on those due dates and when that needs to be installed is a huge hurdle. And I think that you'll find that this collaboration will expand to all of our suppliers across the value chain.
Well, you are certainly in an industry with a huge future ahead of you.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that, and good luck on your further endeavors. Cameron, thanks very much for sitting down with us and talking a little bit about First Solar's initiatives and supply chain. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Cameron Slafaro of First Solar. Thank you very much for watching.